Hello, hello. So we're back with the advanced node and express section. Yeah, the last that we were doing this, things were they were a little bit rough around the edges, mainly because the section is almost it's just over 3 years old, and a lot obviously has changed in that time because technology is constantly advancing. So we had a lot of packages that we decided to, use the latest ones on because that's what we've been used to in the current projects that we've been working on. And obviously quite a few things like how you access collections and this and that have changed. So it's been quite the mission to follow along, but it also helps with trouble solving because we managed to find solutions that actually work, which I feel is obviously the most important part in a real world scenario. So yeah, I do enjoy it, and I'm hoping to see how things continue off. I can't wait to get to the project section because that's obviously not reliant on any specific versions or outdated or lacking information. We're basically just given a set of tasks and we need to complete it in whichever way we see fit. So that's going to be good. But yeah, let's continue. So we're going to be looking at hashing our passwords. And we're continuing the previous project that we had, the little pug file. Oh my god, I need to remember to actually... I need to remember to actually save that. I'm actually gonna save that. It's just too adorable not to. Okay, cool. Is that it? Do I have... Yeah, cool. So we have everything we need. So we need to add bcrypt as a dependency and require it in our server. You'll need to handle hashing in two key areas, where you handle registering, saving a new account, and when you check to see that password is correct on login. Currently our registration route, you insert a user's password into the database like the following. Password request.body.password. An easy way to implement saving a hash instead is to add the following before your database logic. Hash equal to bcrypt.hash sync request.body.password 12 I assume is assault rounds, and replacing the request.body.password in a database saving with just password hash. Finally, on our authentication strategy, we check for the following in our code before completing the process. If password not equal to user.password, return done null false. After making the previous changes, now user.password is a hash. Before making a change to the existing code, notice how the statement is checking if the password is not equal, then return non-authenticated. With this in mind, your code should look as follows to properly check the password entered against the hash. If not, bcrypt.compare sync password user.password, return done null false. That's all it takes to implement one of the most important security features when you have to store passwords. Submit your page when you think you've got it right. I'm wondering if it was ever important to show us how to save a password without ever encrypting it. Like, does that teach us anything? Does that not waste a bit of time that could have been like used elsewhere? Like, just from the get-go saying we need to use bcrypt, we need to set a standard, this is why we do it, and then just do it instead of, you know, saving the password in plain text. Because maybe some people don't want to set up bcrypt, maybe they find it complicated, maybe there's too many steps, and then they end up just saving it in plain text, and you know, you just showed them a way that will most likely end up being simpler. So I would have just like gone straight bcrypt. I wouldn't even bothered like showing how to save passwords in plain text. I don't see why you would ever want that. But yeah, that's just me. Okay, so on our registration, we need to save the password. So password's going to be we're going to have a hash, bcrypt.hash sync. So this is why I was talking about the outdated stuff, because hash sync, you wouldn't even specifically use that function anymore. But I don't know if they're going to check against that specifically. So let's just use that. And we replace request.body.password in the database, saving it with just password hash. And the reason this was done so that it is synchronous, but isn't an asynchronous function? That's the thing now. They didn't explain this, because unless you're going to await this. Was it blocking? I wonder. Okay, on register. This is where you're going to insert one. So before you do that, you're going to probably want to set hash equal to bcrypt. We need to also install bcrypt. So npm install bcrypt. And then we also need to require it. So we're going to do const bcrypt equal to require. Wait, was there an issue? Wait, what? Callback never invoked. This is a bug in Node pre-GYP. Try to update Node pre-GYP and file an issue if it does not help. But did we actually end up... bcrypt get added? I don't think it did. Let's try that again. This is probably not a problem with npm. There is likely additional logging output above. Exit status error number 6. Interesting. Oh, is it not bcrypt.js? Is that not the package name? Am I confusing the two? Because I know there's bcrypt. I think we're getting the wrong one or something. So it's bcrypt.js. Okay, so that worked. It's weird that they didn't specify which package. So yeah, we just need to require bcrypt.js. Let me just make sure. Yeah, there you go. And that's bcrypt. So now we can do bcrypt dot hash sync request.body.password 12, and then the password request.body. The password will end up becoming hash. So now we have a hashed password, and then we can test that by. I'd actually have to go to the database, MongoDB. And then we're just going to basically create an account and see if it hashes it. Okay, cool. So let's create a user test, and the password's going to be 123. Okay, it's created. Now, if we check the database for test, perfect. That worked. Essentially, it looks something like this. I'm just going to copy the output. It looks like that. So the password's hashed. There's the username. So that works well. So it is hashed. We're saving a hashed copy of the password, which is great. And then we need to do a comparison. In authentication. So this is not going to work if we try to authenticate. What was my... It was like deadmono123 to log in, wasn't it? But now we're not going to be... Oh, we are going to be able to log in, but test is not going to work. So test123 is going to fail because of the hash. So what we need to do is in the authenticate for... Which one was it? Ensure authenticated? We did... Wait, no it wasn't. Where were we checking for the password? In the authentication strategy, we only had ensure authenticated. There must be something else that we had. It was this, wasn't it? Local strategy. If not user. Oh right, we had this. If password not equal to user.password. So that's not going to work anymore. So we need if bcrypt.compare sync password user.password. Because before it was user.password. Okay, so now it's going to be a hash. Return done, no, false. Okay, so that's the only change that we should need. And then test should allow me to log in now. No, it didn't, unless the password wasn't 123, or we... Pretty sure the password was test123. Okay, so the requirement is... So it should return done or false. So the password that we find There's a password that we put in, and user.password is finding a user. Wait, so is? Oh, that's the user, if it finds one. So user.password is the hash, and that's the entered one. And compare sync, the first one needs to be the string, and the second one needs to be the hash. And if it's not, so if they don't match, return done null false, which it should do. Unless I forgot the password, but I'm pretty sure it was test and 123. Let's see what the logs are saying. There's nothing wrong there. Any output log? User test attempted to log in. Okay, let's create one more account. So tester and 123. Wait, no, that was a login. Tester and 123. Now we've registered. Okay. And it takes us in. Cool, perfect. Now if we try to log in. Okay, I probably just forgot the password or something. It's working now. There we go. Tester. Hash password and everything. It's weird. I wonder what the username was or the password. So let me just check one final time. Tester 123. Are we good? Oh, it's servers down. Tester and 123. Yeah, cool. Okay. So that's working. Beautiful. So then that should be everything. Your project should list bcrypt as a dependency. You should have required bcrypt. Is that the only thing it checks for? It doesn't even check if we're using it correctly? This might be a problem. Because they want bcrypt, but we're using bcrypt.js. I want to see if there actually is bcrypt on, or why we are getting an issue. Oh, you need a stable version of Node to use bcrypt. If you do not, you'll likely see an error that, yeah. Okay, I see. So there's bcrypt.js and there's bcrypt. I wonder what the difference is. Go look at the bcrypt, because we were always using the JS one before. Optimized bcrypt in JavaScript with 0 dependencies. Wait, so this one's older than the actual bcrypt itself? How does that work? Why is this one pushed so much? That is so strange. Okay. Luckily, I mean, it's pretty much the same, so... I gotta remember to make a note for this to change bcrypt.js to bcrypt. And that's kind of an important one to have. Cool, done. Now I've just got to figure out what to do with my node, because I think we're running on a... Let me check the version of node. Node-v, we were using 10.16. 10.16. When's the last time we updated? And that's the long-term support versus 12.11, but that has the latest features. Wait, so we should be fine technically. So wait, why are we getting that error? Node.jip only works with stable released versions of Node, which we should have. Since the bcrypt module uses Node.jip to build and install, you'll need a stable version of Node to use bcrypt. If you do not, you'll likely see an error that starts with jip error stack error. Pre-versions of Node cannot be installed. Use a Node flag instead. Okay, and the error that we get is simply using needle for node prejip HTTPS down completion callback never invoked. Node version 10.16, node prejip version 0.12.0. This is a bug in node prejip. Try to update node prejip. So how do we update node prejip? Is that literally just the package that we have globally installed? Is that just like global? Install it locally or globally, I wonder. Let me see if I have prejip installed already. Let's check our node cache and... No, we don't. Unless... Wait, there's no jip. Check global npm packages version. npm list minus g, so let's do that. npm list or -g. I just want to see if there is jip. Now I can see why you don't want to work with global packages. So we want to see npm view package name. So npm view, that was this one. So npm view node prejip. I want to see what version. So we have can I see what version we have? It says 0.13. That's the current one. It doesn't tell me what the installed version is. Oh, so npm list. Okay, npm list node prejip empty. We don't have it installed globally. Okay, so let's look at the error again. And then let's Google bcrypt. This is a bug in node prejip blah blah blah. And let's figure out what we need to do to solve this. Yeah, I don't want to use the Node.js library because that we've already done. That doesn't help us because free code campus check against bcrypt. Doesn't help us migrating to bcrypt.js, and the thing that's got me worried is this hasn't been updated in 3 years. And this has been updated 5 months ago. So yeah. Which is rather strange. I guess there's no major issues that's needed. Some people are just saying install node prejip, so what's the worst that can happen, right? We're gonna install this locally as a dependency. Doesn't work, we can just fall back to what we have. 6 people disagreed with that though, so let's see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then yeah. Oops. npm install bcrypt. See if it will actually notice prejip being there. No, we got some errors as well. So that did not work. Error number 6, bcrypt 3.0 install node prejip install fall back to bold. Exit state is 6. So it's almost like bcrypt's board installation is causing something to fail. Let's see. Need to install bcrypt separately. npm install bcrypt saved, and after this is done, run npm install again. Wait, what? Need to install bcrypt separately. Okay, so first let's uninstall npm uninstall node pre-gyp. I think just to be safe, let's do npm uninstall bcrypt.js. We always come back to it if we need to. Okay, so we clean that up, and then npm install bcrypt save. We're gonna have this issue check. Yeah. Save didn't change anything. Huh. What are we missing then? That didn't work. Wait, by the way, to use bcrypt you need Python installed? I think we have Python installed, but regardless. Yeah, we have Python installed, so it can't be that. If you want to be Python independent, use bcrypt.js. What a mission. Let's see if someone found a solution to using bcrypt.js. Because I want to see if people are still... Because if we can't even install it... Wait, that's the same one. Let's check this out. I always go with MD5. Wait, that doesn't solve the challenge. Why am I getting corrupt content? Let's see what people are saying. I wonder how they got bcrypt to work. Anyway, let's test something else. Let's close this and let us close this. npm install bcrypt.js, and then in server oh, it's gonna freaking check our npm package, isn't it? That's the other issue that we have now. Check. It's gonna try get our package .json, and it's gonna realize that there's no bcrypt in there. Oh man, bcrypt is a dependency. There must be someone that's brought this up though. Issues. Wait, what? Are these challenges? Interesting. Okay, so the issue we have is we can't install bcrypt. That didn't help us. We'll probably have to add Windows to this, because most of these are Linux or Mac. Let's check npm-v. What version of npm are we running? Version 6.10. So if we do npm install npm at latest, let's update npm and then just confirm. And then God knows what else we broke. Yay, dependencies. Yay, so we have some errors now, great. They just mainly seem to be permission errors. Okay, let me try this quick. See if this makes a difference. Okay, there we go. npm v 6.11.3. nice. Then let us restart this. And I'm gonna npm install bcrypt. You gonna behave now or not really? No, you're still running the same issue. So npm install node pre gip or gip or however you read that, and then we're gonna try the bcrypt save method that someone else mentioned. Npm was it install save? What did someone say? Please install the compilers and prerequisites for your system. Okay, what are the prerequisites? Okay, so npm install g node chip, so let's try do that. On Windows, install all the pre-required tools and configuration using Microsoft's Windows build tools using npm install global production Windows build tools from an elevated PowerShell command. Jesus. Okay, fine. We will get technical, not a problem. I shall do so, whatever it will take to get us passing this test at this point. npm install global. Okay, so PowerShell, not a problem. Windows PowerShell, let's do it. Once I've finished installing chip, which we have, I have a feeling we need to uninstall GIP locally after this. I like how it's installing Python, but we already have Python installed. I'll let it do its thing though. npm uninstall, what was it that we added? Node pre gip. What else was it? Was it just that? I think it was just that. Cool. Okay, so Python is installed now. Whoever created these scripts are amazing. Oh, VS, there we go. Who knew how many things would actually have to be done on a Windows environment? I wonder if it's still busy. Successfully installed Python. Like, was that all it was gonna do? Install Python? It looks like you're installing or modifying another product right now. Are we? So I just had to work around some firewalls as well, because this thing's trying to grab a ton of things. Okay, so installation finalized successfully. And that's all we get. We don't get anything further. It doesn't say you're done, you can close this now. I guess that's one way to check. No zip list, I guess. We've done that. We have done this. If everything is correct, and I'm just going to assume it's done, should we just be able to do npm install bcrypt? And I shouldn't complain about git now or something? Let's see. It should be able to build, because that's what it needs to do. It needs to build. No, still the same issue. And we've done everything. Python 2.7, let me just check what Python we have. And let's set it. npm config set python 2.7. So npm config set python 2.7. Done. npm config set msvs version 2017. Done. I feel this is getting way more technical than it needs to be. Just to install a package. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, because we can't get it to install, but bcrypt works. So what if we do bcrypt version, was it 3.0.6? Something like that. And then we're gonna do npm install bcrypt JS, because that's the one that does work that we're working with, right? Can we then get freecodecamp to just be like, cool, you got it, it's in your package, you're using it? Because we pass the hash and everything works. So bcrypt is a dependency, but bcrypt is not correctly required and implemented. How is it checking for that, I wonder? I wonder how it's checking, because it sees it in the package. You should have required bcrypt. You should have. Wait, is that literally all it's checking for? Because we are requiring bcrypt JS, aren't we? Let's just do literally bcrypt fcc equal to require bcrypt. No, just bcrypt. Just like that. I know it's not installed. I know you're gonna bitch and moan, but we need to pass this test, and I'm desperate at this point. Hold on, server's down. Right, server's still down. 127, 2711. It's gonna complain about something. It is gonna complain about something in our output log. Not our output log, our error log. All the way at the end. Which is cannot find module bcrypt. Oh no! It's actually physically gonna require it. Okay, so why are we failing now is because our compiler cannot find this given module, because it doesn't physically exist. RIP. Back to trying to figure out how to get bcrypt to... So a lot of this is Linux. I want to see like Windows related issues. Like, what are you using? apt-get? Okay, not. Linux again. So there are pre-built binaries. That doesn't help using bcrypt.js because freecodecamp checks specifically for we've done this and it hasn't solved the issue. And the error that we have is specifically exit status 6. Windows exit status 6. Error number 6. So let's figure out what these people have found. Is it the same as ours? What error? That's error number 1. Where's error number 6? There. You have some network errors. Version 2.0.1 has pre-built binaries. You have some network errors? What? npm install bcrypt. Oh, I wonder if it could be a network error. Let's see what the debug log is. So I've got a 200, 304 here, cache. Everything is fine up until exit status 6 at event emitter. So the moment it tries to do this, install node pregip install, that's what it seems to fail at. Hey Venya. The log doesn't help us much. Literally everything else, all these hundreds of packages are fine. And it's not a network related issue. I've just double checked that and we got 200 and 304 responses. I wonder if we look at the pre-built binaries. So if we do bcrypt version 2.0.1, I'm curious to actually see if that will 2.0.1, so bcrypt 2.0.1 and then npm uninstall bcrypt.js. Let's get rid of the bcrypt.js version. And then let's see if we can install version 2.0.1. and then npm install. Wait, what vulnerabilities were found in npm audit? 2 vulnerabilities, probably arbitrary file override. npm audit fix. Varani, hey, how you been? Let's just do npm install and see if it will install version 2.0.1. Been to your streams, just a lurker for viewer count. I appreciate that. Didn't have time and opportunity to watch and chat. No worries, man. I do appreciate it. How things been on your side? So it looks like we might have... I may not say anything before I actually check, but it seems that we might have installed version 2.0.1 because it's pre-compiled. That'll be really nice. Let me check the node modules. It is! We have bcrypt! It's not 3.0.6, but at least it's there. Because I think FreeCodeCamp was using a really old one, because 3.0.6 will not compile, even though I have the latest dev tools and Python configured. It just does not want to build under Windows. And I'm not going to spend that much time debugging, literally just to test. So we got bcrypt working finally. We're not going to use bcrypt.js. So we can just switch back to bcrypt. And just for good measure, I'm going to take the server down quickly. Let's just kill that. Start it up again. Swipe these logs while we're at it. Okay, cool. So it's back online. Where are we? We're here. So let's close everything else. See that's still working. See if we can still log in. I think it was tester 123. Yeah, we're good. Cool. So FreeCodeCamp should be happy with us now. Yes. Great. So if anyone's watching this and you seem to be stuck as well because we're in like the year 2020 and you want to use the latest version of bcrypt, switch to 2.0.1. Those are the last pre-compiled ones, and yeah, it works. How are your projects and learning? It's good. I decided to take a break from the ACRDB because there was a lot that was happening and I felt that I was going to put my studies on hold. So I didn't want to go ahead with that. My plan was to first finish FreeCodeCamp fully, and we're on like the final stretch now. We're finishing up, it's just the advanced node and Express projects, and then we're completely done with FreeCodeCamp. And then after that I'm free to do whatever, and then I think I'll go back to that project. So I wanted to make sure I catch up on things, and it was good because I got to learn about things like Helmet for security, and I got to learn about automated tests, test suites with Chai and Marker for the test suites and all that. So that was cool, stuff that I hadn't worked on yet, so I can now take everything that I learned and apply it into the new project. And you've been working, getting and losing motivation, right? Just the usual day, fighting some health issues. Oh no, what are you fighting? I hope it's nothing too serious. So living the life. Is this a pug? It is a pug, yes. I made a little joke because we had to work with pug files. So that's so Node has a rendering, a template rendering engine that you can use, and one of them is the pug files, right? So it uses things like this. It's very different. You omit all the tags that you would in HTML, and it uses indentation to basically handle formatting of how you'd have the HTML rendered, which is pretty cool. And anyway, it's a .pug file. And I thought, you know what, let's go and add a picture of a pug to our project, because we're going to be staring at it for quite some time, and I don't want to look at just, you know, a bit of text. So That was just something small I decided to add. Nothing too fancy. You must be better than me already. I mean, the fact that I was still struggling to install bcrypt, like the amount of stuff that we had to do, I'm not gonna lie, like free code camp was amazing in the beginning for like 80% of the stuff, but you come to the advanced stuff, and if you look at the last time this was committed, let me give you an example, and you should know because you work in a dev world all the time, but this was last updated 3 years ago. Now just try to imagine the state of packages 3 years ago. Just take that in for a moment. So I was like, I'm not going to go and use the same stuff that they were using because we're not going to learn anything. You know, if I have to use things like we're using like version 2 or something of Mongo, and I can't remember what else. So I decided to literally use the latest versions of everything except for bcrypt. Bcrypt just has some weird dependencies issues under Windows, getting it to build. So it's got nothing to do with free code camp. But then obviously we ran into other issues. For example, MongoDB had an insane amount of changes since what they did 3 years ago and now. And one of them was the fact that you couldn't do db.collection. Like I'm sure you've worked in Mongo, so you know we wouldn't use collection, we would use models directly, right? So you would access the model and then, you know, perform your actions on it. So they want to directly use collection, and the problem is .collection doesn't return what it used to return 3 years ago. Now it will return the entire session connection with the database that you want to perform, but you can't actually access the collection like that. So what you needed to do, what I found out was you need to, so here we're initializing a variable and we're saying, hey, the DB that is attached to the Mongo connection, .db, and give it the name of the database, which is, in this case, freecodecamp.db. So now we have a direct reference to our database, right? Then we can do .collection. Back before you didn't have to do this, so it was just handled for you. And anyway, you shouldn't even be doing it this way, but I mean, you know, we're just following the tutorial. So that's just an example of the amount of like troubleshooting we had to go through. It's been crazy. But yeah, my teeth, they need to be removed from my jaw. They are deep inside. Oh jeez. And while I was preparing for the surgery, I found out that there's something wrong with my kidneys. Oh wow. How did they find that from teeth to kidneys? Hope you managed to sort that out though. Probably due to my full lifestyle and eating regime. How do you say eating schedule? What is it? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, eating schedule. Just like your diet, really? Like, I don't think there's really a schedule. Like, schedule imply like you eating at a specific time. Like, I have no schedule when it comes to that. I just eat when I eat. Quality of the food you eat and the time, like when and how often you eat. Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's like a diet, really, in a sense. What's that called? Yeah, the changes could be insane. That's actually a huge problem of modern development. Yeah, exactly, the dependency hell, right? You have so many dependencies that rely on each other, and then you gotta update things, and then I realized that I was like flagging behind on npm, and I had to install like... Yeah, it's crazy, but anyway, it's good. I like it because it means that I can actually troubleshoot and solve problems, because, you know, if you're just following instructions word for word and everything goes perfectly, then, you know, cool, but, you know, in an ideal situation, but dev worlds are anything but ideal, so it's good to have actually run into all these issues so we can solve them. And while it's not great because we're supposed to be studying, we're not supposed to be actually, you know, building and breaking things. That will come when you're working or working on projects, you know what I mean? This is like still the studies, and if the studies aren't even working... but I'm just glad. I don't know how, but we've been managing to pass them. Little fixes here and there, thanks to the community, the internet, testing things, hours of just troubleshooting. We're getting there. We're almost done. I think I'm going to finish this tonight, and then I think there's one more section before the projects begin, and then we're completely done. So... yeah, we're about halfway now. The next few things should be easy enough because we're not dealing with outdated packages anymore. I hope. Fingers crossed. And then all that's left... Actually, this is the last bit. This is like literally the last bit. Then after that, we start on the projects. And then we're done. I'm still in the process of sorting it out. Health issues, yeah. It's just a run test on my blood before anesthesia for the surgery, and found out that the results are not that good. Oh damn. I hope you manage to sort it. Like, don't leave it or anything. Like, that's important. Get it sorted out as soon as possible. Yeah, I think I have a similar thing with my teeth, because I have my wisdom teeth, but like they keep coming and they keep going and they don't give me pain. But when I went to the dentist, they said I've got something like, is it like not, impacted. So it's like impacted deep within the gums. So if it goes too far, it can actually like cause issues with my jaw and potentially crack it, if I remember correctly, or something. So not fun. So I'm gonna have to get my wisdom teeth removed, the two that are impacted. That's gonna be great. I don't know how it's gonna affect my streaming, if I'm still gonna be able to talk. Probably not. So I might have to take a break from streaming then, until that's at least sorted. But I'm not gonna stop the studies. Screw that. I don't know what the pain's like. They said it's quite painful, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. Yeah, the same. Wisdom teeth are deep inside at 90 degrees. Yeah, probably the same thing. And they move the other teeth. Impacted is the word? Yeah, yeah. Impacted. You can Google it and then you can see if it's the same thing for you. So what are we doing now? Right now everything is in your server, JS file. Don't you tell me that we have to move everything, I swear. Because that is what I wanted to do. This can lead to hard to manage code. It is very oh my god. Create 2 new files, roots and auth. Are you serious? Like, I wanted to do this from the start, but I was like, nah, they're probably gonna have everything in one file. Both should start with the following code: module.exports function appdb. Now on the top of your server file, require these files like such. Const roots equal require. Okay, so you want roots, like capitalized roots? Can it be lowercase? Okay, wait, so you want capital roots there, but you want lowercase roots there. Like, make up your mind. Like, it wouldn't work. Like, you would literally get an error because that's lowercase r. That's, and they literally tell you. Do you see what I mean? Like, the level of quality has just... What happened? I don't understand. I can't wait for the updates, but we're going to be done with this before the updates come out. So where are we? Inside of here. So new file, roots.js, and what was the other one? Roots and auth. Auth? Yeah, auth.js. Okay, and each one apparently needs to start with that. And then they want us to require it. For roots and auth, right at the top. Okay. After this, we can do it there. Roots equal to require roots, and auth equal to require auth. You happy? I want to put auth before roots. Well, actually, roots. Yeah, I want to do it alphabetically, but technically roots come first, and then you auth on the root. Cool, that's done. What else do you want us to do? Finally, take all of the roots in your server and paste them into your new file and remove them from your server file. Also, take the ensure authenticated, since we created the middleware function for routing specifically. You will now have to correctly add the dependencies in that what? You will now have to correctly add the dependencies in that are used. What the fuck? Such as const passport equal. Oh, okay. So basically, any dependencies are required, move them where needed. At the very top of above the export line in your roots.js file. I love this. Keep adding them until no more errors exist. It's almost like they want you to just have errors. Like, no, it's fine. Just keep adding one by one. Don't do it logically. Just move things. And if you get an error, move more things, and just keep going. Who wrote this? Oh, we have been so spoiled. Like, Free Code Camp has been incredible, but you get to this and it's just like, it's like one of those $1 Udemy courses or something. Like, no offense, it's just like this person is clearly like technically minded and they know what they need to do, which is great. But when it comes to writing the tutorial or like the section, it's just, it's like they forgot how to explain it. It's like they, yeah, just wow. Okay. Roots. This is going to be another issue because they needed us to wrap everything inside of a database connection. You see this? So yeah, our roots are all over the place just to get the freaking tests to work. Wow. Okay, so you want all our roots here. So module.exports function app db. So what's going to be app and what's going to be db? Are you going to require it and pass? Oh, you do. There you go. Right after you establish a successful connection with a database, instantiate each of them like such. Okay, I was about to say, like, how the hell is it going to do that? So it gets app and db. Good. Now that we know that, we can proceed. Where's the root? We need that to fix the test. This is the connection. Where's the root? This is passport stuff. App.root register. Passport.authenticate. How the hell are we going to handle this now? Because this was chained. This was a callback. After you post, the callback is to authenticate. Okay, here goes nothing. Roots. There's the one. App.root profile, app.use, we don't need that. What else? This is technically a root. App.use public is a root. So here's app.root. App.post, app.root logout. Let's just go. Cool. So we got login, logout, profile, register, and then the index. So we're gonna need passport in here. Wait, why do we need passport? We need passport for, oh, to call authenticate. What else? What else? What dependencies? We have FCC DB, which is this thing that we defined over here. Okay. Hey, recently I found some funny things about JavaScript. Want to see them? Of course. Show me. We also need, wait, where does it want ensure authenticated? Also take the ensure authenticator since we created that middleware function for routing specifically. Take all the routes and the ensure authenticated. Okay. Where's ensure authenticated? There it is. But is it complaining that it's defined but never used? It is defined but never used, yeah. Cool. And then we stick you over here. Great stuff. I think that, we have bcrypt as well. I don't think we're using bcrypt anywhere else, so I could take this and stick it in here. Anything else? Anything? Oh, we are using bcrypt. What is this? Oh, that's a passport strategy. Okay, so bcrypt can stay then. What else? What else? What else? What else? think that should be it. And then we need to do roots after we authenticated in the database. So over here, if error, else, let us handle the passport stuff first. After passport is done, after we listen, before or after we listen? No, afterwards, it's fine. Then we call roots and we give it app and db. And we're going to need to do the same for auth probably. Console.log type of wait, I'm confused. Wait, am I reading that correctly? Type of, not a number. What's it going to be? Would it be a number? Type of null. Type of null would be an object. Because if it's not an, it would be an array. Everything else is an object. Handpans, hey! Wow, look at you two. I haven't seen you guys in ages, and it's good to see you guys drop by. Okay, I think we moved everything across just fine. What was the next requirement? Keep adding until no this is like literally the best tutorial. I just love it. Keep adding things until no more errors exist. It's like a recipe for a cake or something. Keep adding milk until it's no longer fucked. How do you write this in the... Now do the same thing in your auth.js file with all of the things related to authentication, such as the serialization and setting up of the local strategy, and erase them from your server file. Erase them. Oh my god. Okay. Passport? Why? Okay. I'm done asking questions. I'm done asking why. This is not our app, so we don't have a right to question it, right? We just do as we're told. Because I would not be doing it this way. So this doesn't need to be used anymore. It's going to be used here in auth. You're going to go there, and then we're going to need passport and probably bcrypt. Are we using bcrypt here? Are we? Should be, comparing the hashed passwords. There it is, yeah. So passport and bcrypt, what else? We need to do, what was it, roots? Or was auth? And we need to give it app and db. There you go. So that's technically everything, I think. We've set up, where does it want us to set up passport though? Probably in the auth file itself. So app.usePassport.initialize. Congratulations, you're at the end of this section. Don't lie to me. We're not at the end. There's still more things to do. So let's just try this. App.usePassport. And what else? App.useSession. Session is not defined because session needs to go over here. Actually, session before passport. No, go down there. But initialize. Wait. Yeah, session first. Cool, so session first, then initialize passport, then initialize the session based on that. Then we have the database connection, then serialize, deserialize. Cool. That means that we're no longer going to need session, we're not going to need passport, we're not going to need the local strategy, but we are going to need to import local strategy. Like that. Object ID we're going to need as well, which is from Mongo directly. Where can I have that? I can have that over there. What else? Mongo can stay there. bcrypt we're not going to need that. Body parser can stay. FCC testing needs to stay. Yeah, I think that's it. What are you doing now? I'm finishing up the last bits of Free Code Camp, which will effectively like mark the end of our studies. And then I'll probably study extra stuff off stream if I need to and work on projects, which is fun. I just felt like it was something that was missing, like incomplete. Yeah, mamma mia. Netley, hey. I don't get that, but I hope you will. Did I get it right, by the way, Veroni? You still there? I said that type of NaN should be a number and type of null should be an object, because pretty much everything else in JavaScript is an object if it's not a primitive type. Okay, I'm ready to test. Things are... Jesus Christ, look at all these deprecation warnings. Okay, let's see if we actually have a server that's running right now. If it actually is running, I will be surprised. It's actually running. If I actually get to log in, I will like genuinely be in like shock and disbelief, because the way that this is structured is just awful. Good, it doesn't work. What is the issue? Passport that initialize middleware not in use. What do you mean not in use? Passport initializes right there. App.use passport. Oh, I think we need to do the auth before the roots. Auth first, then roots, like I wanted to do, even though they say roots first, then auth. And we probably need to call auth first and set up everything before we do the roots. I think that is what the issue is. At least we can render something. Wait, no, don't resend. Any backend boot camps you can recommend? I mean, Free Code Camp is what I'm doing now. And it's pretty okay-ish. Should give you the basics that you need to actually, you know, feel more confident in taking things further should you so need to. Hey, there we go. I was right. Oh, they did mention it down here. Because it's confusing. Prior to that, they were like roots and then auth. But here they do mention that auth before roots. Okay, good. At least we knew that. So that should be it. Things are working, more or less. They should do a full-on test to make sure everything is working as it should. But yeah, we logged in successfully. And let's do registration quickly. Give a name. Handpans. Live. Your password's 123. Do you get to log in? Wait, that was a login form, sorry, registration. Handpans live. Your password's 123. Don't complain about the password. Completely safe. There we go. Welcome, Handpans. Log out. Is it case sensitive, I wonder? Handpans live. 123. Shouldn't be, right? Oh. It is? It is case sensitive. What? How did they set this up? It should not be case sensitive. Do you guys know of any sites that uses case sensitivity for your username to log in? That's crazy. Free Code Camp is just annoying. I like their work, but I did their courses and learned jack shit. That's weird. Would you believe me if I told you, Netley, that everything that I know is from Free Code Camp? Like the only place and reference that I've had, besides obviously Googling things through Stack Overflow and having chat point things out, is just Free Code Camp. So what helped me a ton is actually building things, like building projects. I've done tons of projects on and off stream, and I feel that's like the only way that I've really been able to like keep the information in. Because obviously you just read it and it's like, cool passport, okay, cool, yeah, authenticate, cool, decrypt, yeah, hash that password, cool, yeah, you think you got it. And then you come back to it the next day, the next week, and you're like, like, what? Whereas when you're actually building, and I've had to do like 3-4 different apps that keep using the same types of methods, same authentication, everything, then you know each time, okay, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, this is how you set up, that set, and it kind of just gets ingrained. So if you haven't already been doing projects, that's where I would suggest you start, because it doesn't matter what kind of boot camp you do. If you're just going to constantly be reading information and not actually doing something with it, you're not, personally, I feel, going to get, anywhere. Everyone's different, maybe some people can learn by reading, but I can't. I need to actually physically do things. I would believe it because I know many people have, but it didn't work. I worked on many projects, but it never worked. Yeah, do what Deadman is doing? Okay, I'll give them another shot, I guess, but I'm looking for web hosting and stuff. Pick what you want to build the server in, like Express Node, and then start making routes. Yeah, or maybe just break things down into smaller goals for yourself. Because maybe the one thing I could tell you is that, especially with the way things are structured, back end, they kind of just throw you in the deep end. There's just so much that you need to take into account. And I mean, even though you have Express that makes things easier, there's just still so much that you need to understand. How routes work, if you're going to do authentication, actually responding, like there's a ton. So there's no like simple, let me just do it in a small segment. It's basically all or nothing. So just know that if you are struggling, it is normal, and try to get the pieces working of the puzzle before you put them all together. Understand the segments of how things work, how routes work, or whatever it is you're struggling with, because obviously I don't know what it is exactly you're struggling with. I'm going to not do boot camps. I feel like they're just unworking for me. I think it just makes me memorize more than I learn. Yeah, you have to do projects. You have to do something with the knowledge that you were given, because anyone will become stagnant if they just learn something and they didn't apply it. It's theory versus practical, and while both are important, unless you're doing the practical, the theory is just going to fade away over time. Just like think about other things that aren't coding related, like that you're good at. I don't know if you like cook or you do something, but there's a skill that you have that over the years that you've done it, you may look back now and be like, oh, it's just like a walk in the park. You don't even think about it. It's just like natural as breathing. It just happens. That's what it means to put to practice the skills that you have, and you hone them over the years, over the months, or however long it is, Like maybe follow along with a project YouTube video to get a basic structure down. Pattern, yeah. There's JS30, was it? A really great project site that basically has you build 30 projects. I assume the name is 30 projects in 30 days. But I mean, I guess you could take your own time. Just those are tons of projects. There's also the, was it Florin Pop's app ideas? If you don't know what to build, I'm gonna link it in chat for you guys. And that basically has a ton of app ideas, from like basic stuff, depending on what your skills are, to like more intermediate, advanced things. And just start there. Start somewhere small and keep adding to it until you're happy. Like most of the people that I've seen, the one project that I was working on, it was just massive, and I spent like almost 2 weeks just working on authentication, doing proper sign up, doing proper logins, doing proper handling of data, interfacing with the server, the API, there was just so much. There's so much that you don't think of. So it really is complex, and backend can be like a real rabbit hole. So yeah, don't feel bad. It's nothing like front end. You know, front end is just like, oh, make this look like this, make this work, cool, done. Back end is just so many things you can do. That's why I love it. Maybe you could give an example of something that didn't stick, something that does not stick. Python. Some JavaScript things that really stick. C++ and Java. Huh. That's interesting. And were they all like similar, like similarly structured things that you followed through, workshops or whatever? Was there like a difference in the way that it was presented that made the C++ and Java stick opposed to the Python and JavaScript? So how far did you get with Free Code Camp's curriculum, Natalie? Because I know a lot of people that complain end up like giving up. They get past the HTML and the CSS because that's like basic. They check the applied visual design, which is still CSS, you know. So they basically get through the majority of the web design stuff. Then they get to the JavaScript algorithms, and by the time they get to like the basic algorithms, or like even data structures, then they end up giving up because they're like, what the hell is this? Because it's obviously different. You're not really manipulating with the DOM anymore. It's more like math-based stuff. But if you can push past that and get to the actual like the OOP and the functional programming, things really change. Then the front end is pretty much just, you know, a culmination of those skills, and then you actually, you know, data visualization, just like I want to say like fuck data visualization, like honestly, like some people like it. I love stats, I like data, but I cannot just, I did not like that. I did it, okay, and I struggled, and it's not about that. It wasn't entertaining. But yeah, that I feel is not something that's necessary at all. Unless you somehow are gonna work with that or need it, that's like completely like irrelevant. But yeah, once you get to the APIs and microservices, like I had a ball. That was so much fun. And then yeah, just keep in mind that for some reason it's like 3 years delayed. So a lot of the stuff that you're gonna look at compared to what you know now may be a bit different, but it's easy enough to catch up. I got through halfway. The last one before, I just could not. I got through halfway. Halfway as in like halfway through the curriculum? Like, where did you stop? Like, which section here? I love data science and programming, but theirs made no sense to me. Yeah. Halfway through the last section. Oh, so this one, the one that I'm currently on. Information security and quality assurance. So you did all the projects then? Everything? You built the projects and stuff? Because I'm like, how does that not stick if you did the projects and there's basically no hand-holding? Unless you copied what they already have. Because I've seen a lot of people just copy the code that they have and they just edit it a bit and they're done. If you're actually building from scratch, by the time you get here, you would have built so many projects that you should feel quite confident with like JavaScript at that point. So around about this time they stop holding your hand. Data visualization, there's like no hand holding, and then you go on and it's basically like you're on your own now. You're a big boy. JavaScript is quirky though. Yeah, but I gave up because it was just not fun. The bootcamp was not for me. I hate, and I mean hate JavaScript for the work I do. I ignored their hand holding the whole time. Okay. What kind of work what do you use JavaScript for? Because to me it sounds like you're doing like a lot of math and database stuff, so it makes sense why you would like Python. Well, no, you don't like Python, that doesn't stick with you, because that's what you'd be using Python for. Maybe you would have liked the DOM aspects more. So when you're doing like the React stuff, when you're doing the front end with React and that, did you enjoy that? I'm curious. If you hate JavaScript and like C++, Java, just use those languages. Yeah, no one forces you to use languages. I use JavaScript for front end and Discord bots. He likes low level. Yeah. You'd like TypeScript better. Yeah. That would be an improvement if you come from a strongly typed language. But yeah, no one forces you to use these. If you don't get it and it doesn't work for you, and you know the front end stuff is not great, then just stick to your lower level stuff like C# as well. I really want to get into that, but I know it's going to be completely different. And you have Java, and isn't there Kotlin? Wasn't Kotlin for... I'm trying to see what the difference was. Yeah. Designed to interoperate fully with Java and the JVM version of its standard library. So there's Kotlin that you have. I'm sure you heard of it or looked at it. If you like Java, you can check that out. That may make a bit more sense to you than JavaScript. I tried doing TypeScript and it almost sticks, but the work with Node.js is not fun. I've looked at Postgre and stuff like PHP and that, like Apache and everything else, and just I don't know, like Node is so much more simpler for me than any of that. I don't obviously know what the other options are. I know there's a lot of automation being done nowadays. You have things like Azure, and you would have Docker with that, and everything gets automated. So I wouldn't even know what they use outside of that. I still need to get to the point of actually hosting the stuff other than, you know, manually deploying. So for you, C++, Java, C, and Python sometimes are really fun. I want to learn Docker Kubernetes, yeah. Same. I'll get there, I think, after this. Just to understand what the whole hype is about, because I'm not working in a team environment. And I'm not working with like tons of deploys a day. But that's gonna have to be something I need to understand. But thankfully there's tons of, you know, information on that. But it's still good to know how to do things manually, you know? Just at least one time. But yeah, let's see, where are we now? Implementation of social authentication. The basic path this kind of authentication will follow in your app is user clicks a button or link sending them to our root to authenticate using a specific strategy, e.g. GitHub. Your root calls passport.authenticate GitHub, which redirects them to GitHub. Wait, are you telling us we need to do this? Because you can't just say e.g. and then... Is this what we need to do? The page the user lands on GitHub allows them to log in if they aren't already. It then asks them to approve access to their profile from our app. The user is then returned to our app at a specific callback URL with their profile if they are approved. They are now authenticated, and your app should check if it is returning a profile, if it is a returning profile, or save it in your database if it is not. Strategies with OAuth require you to have at least a client ID and a client secret, which is a way for them to verify who the authentication request is coming from and if it is valid. These are obtained from the sites you are trying to implement authentication with, such as GitHub, and are unique to your app. They are not to be shared and should never be uploaded to a public repository or written directly in your code. A common practice is to put them in your env file and reference them like process.env.github client ID. For this challenge, we're going to use the GitHub strategy. Obtaining your client ID and secret from GitHub is done in your account profile settings under Developer Settings, then OAuth Applications. Click register a new application. Name your app. Paste in the URL to your glitch homepage, not the project code's URL. And lastly, for the callback URL, paste in the same URL as the homepage, but with auth GitHub callback added on. Geez, can I actually do this locally? Because we don't have this hosted on Glitch or anything. Let's see. Let me go to GitHub. Docker, Kubernetes, functional backends, data, operating systems, non-PWA applications, products like what Adobe makes. I want to work for Adobe or do similar work. That's cool, Netley. So if you deploy a project and want me to work with it, I can jump into your container, I think it's called, and it's already a setup environment. Yeah, that's how they work. Which is really nice. Sign in. Why am I not? Oh, okay. I think you're still studying, Handpans. Sorry. That's the end goal. They would like to further their skills on whatever they're working on. So I need to go to settings, and I need to go to developer settings, and I need to create a new GitHub. Wait, OAuth apps. I need to register a new application. What are we gonna call it? Free code camp. What do we call it? I don't even know what we're building. They just like do this. Like I have literally no idea what I'm gonna call it. So I'm just literally gonna call it Free Code Camp, Advanced Node, and Express. Homepage URL. The full pay URL to your application homepage. I wonder if we can do localhost like I was saying. Probably not, but let's see what happens. Application description. Part of free. Wait, do I have this in my package.json? So I don't have to. Yeah, there we go. Authorization callback URL. You said that it should be. Paste in the same URL as the homepage URL, but with as the extra path. Okay, cool. There we go. Register application. Oh no, URL must be valid because you can't use localhost. What are we gonna do, guys? Should I set a proxy up through my domain? Can I have it root? Wait, that'll be too complex. Ah, are we gonna have to actually go and create a glitch now? The other thing that I hate is, for some reason, I don't know if it's an issue with Free Code Camp or glitch, but you can't use the glitch link, like when you try to make a copy of it, or if you enter the GitHub repository to make a clone of it, it fails. So I have to literally go and create a brand new. You'll see what I mean now. So let's clone from a repo, and we'll go to their repo, the boilerplate for social auth. Wait, is this a completely different? No, don't tell me this is a completely different repository right now. Please tell me we're continuing on the work that we did. Please tell me we're continuing. Yeah, I would assume they're just continuing, right? On top of what we had. Because they literally didn't say anything. Because remember the last thing that we did? they said we're done. They were like, congratulations, you're at the end of this section. And you go to the next thing and you get this. And it doesn't even tell you. And then you go to the repository and it's a completely different repository. Ay, ay, ay. You can use search. Awesome, free, easy, fast place to host static sites. Oh, I heard about search, yeah. But then you won't be able to do backend like node stuff. And you could just use GitHub pages for static sites. Now I don't know if we can continue with the code that we have. How much more is there of this? Let's check. It's almost like they were done and they were like, hold up, we need to add more to this. So 1, 2, 3, then we need to set up the environment, communicate by emitting, handle a disconnect. What the hell? This sounds like a chat app. But like nowhere does it say it's a chat app. Set up the environment. Add sockets IO as a dependency. I mean, we can still continue this with what we have, right? Emit is the most common way of communicating. Okay. I'm gonna hope that we can continue. And that's what I'm gonna do. Just continue with the current project we have. Let me just make sure this is not a third GitHub repository. Is it still the same one? What the hell? It's a completely different repository! Are you serious right now? Like, this is literally a completely different repository right now. Wow. Wow. Because up until now, everything that you've done has been, you know, single file that you just keep adding to. Same with the tests. I'm just gonna have it all in one file. Screw it. As long as we pass the test, that's all that matters, right? So we're gonna have to create a glitch. I'm gonna create a blank project. Where's a blank project? I need a blank one. I'm gonna do a Java in 14 minutes, get the basics, and then just start coding. Okay, here we go. How hard could this be, right? Literally just copy and paste everything. And because we don't have like a crazy amount of folder structures, this should be simple enough. We have auth.js and we have roots.js. So it's literally just 2 extra files. Roots is there. And auth is there. Cool, and then in package.json we need to copy what we have. Replace that, let it build. Anything else that changed from local to glitch? Do I know trees? BFS, DFS? No, I don't. Heard of trees? Don't think I really understand. Unless you give me some examples, maybe then I would. But otherwise, no, I can't say I do. I gotta go. Cool. Natalie, thanks for dropping by. Good luck with the studies and stuff. And yeah, don't worry too much about the stuff that you don't enjoy, don't get. Focus on the stuff that you do, because at the end of the day, you need to be happy with, what you're doing. And if you're happy with Java and C++ and everything else, then stick with that. There's sites like SQL Zoo that you'll learn it in a day pretty easily. Good chatting, yeah, it was good chatting. Okay, let's see, are we up and running? What errors do we have right now? Are these new errors? Are they old errors? Speak to us. Tell us. What's going on? Add object mod... What's the issue? Throw error? Why? Cannot find module FCC... Oh, of course. Forgot about the extra files that they have, huh? So FCC testing... Oh, it's going to be in a folder called Free Code Camp. New file, free code camp / No, I'm not done. Free code camp / was it FCC testing? Yeah, .js. There you go. Where'd it go? What the hell? Where'd it go? Free code camp FCC testing.js. Add this file. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So that's a test. What else don't we have that we should have? I was gonna have a services thing at one point, but I'm gonna delete that now. We're not gonna use that. We need the views, and we need a pug folder. And we need index.pug and profile.pug. So in views, we're gonna delete index. And we're gonna have pug. So pug, no, views, wait, hold on. Oh, it's gone now. Views, pug, index.pug. And then profile.pug. Views, pug, profile.pug. Pog. Cool, so those are the two view files. Then we need something in public. We're gonna need client.js. Why is that client.js? And we're gonna need style.css. So client.js and style.css in public. So this is in client.js. And this is going to be inside style.css. Done. Literally just two things. And then we need to somehow get my pug image. Where did I save this? Oh, it's local. So in public, we need to upload images. Pug. Can it upload an image? I wonder. Yeah, there it is. I need a public images test.js. I'm going to delete that, but I just need that folder there so that I can stick my pug into the... Does that work? How do I use the pug? I need it rendered by the server. It's in assets. How do assets work? Well, I mean, I guess we could just literally render the asset instead of from the public images folder, maybe? We can just do, where are we rendering the image? Should be somewhere here. Image source, so instead of having it public images pug, we will just do this. I assume that will be fine. Alright, and then let's see, do we have any other issues now that we need to fix? Or are we actually good? Oh, we're actually good, wow, okay. We are gonna call this DMN advanced node and express. I know it's gonna be a bit long, but whatevs. And then we need to see what it looks like. Cool, where's my pug? Where the hell's my pug? View image. There it is, but why is it not rendering? Render image glitch. No, but now it's gonna give me like actual glitch. I need glitch like the host glitch. Render image. No. Surprisingly, we got glitch though. I don't need to glitch my images. Why did they have to name themselves glitch? Because now anything you Google is gonna be like it's a glitch. Okay, so we have an asset, but how do we access the asset? That's my question. Use the URL in your code. Yeah, and there's a URL, but what if we omit the parameter? Does it still render? Yeah, it does. Okay, so let me try this then. In our index, where we have the pug, let's just have the, wait, sorry. Like that. Now, can I get a pug? No? Really? No pug for me? No pug for me. I wonder how you're supposed to access it, unless assets is a folder. Imagine we can do something. Let's try assets, pug.jpg. Maybe assets is a folder. But it's not. That sucks. Render image glitch asset. How to access assets. There we go. Try tab completing it. Let's see. Wait, what? I tried to image name. Wait, I tried image name, for example, app assets. My image doesn't work. The images uploaded to your assets folder are actually hosted on a CDN and only referenced inside a .glitch assets file. You can get the URL for each of your images using the copy. Yeah, we've already done that. And it doesn't work. Check out this project to see how you can use relative URLs. Use it. Okay. Oh. How can we do that? Yeah, how? I want to know. Install. Just copy and paste the contents of assets.js into your project. Oh my god, we have to go work around. Okay, fine, whatever, I will do it. I'm not complaining. Assets.js. Is that what it was called? Assets? Assets? Assets, yes. And then you need to reference the file as follows. Assets equal to require assets. And then app.use assets. Okay, so at the top, after express, Wait, no, in server. App equal to express. Assets equal to require assets. And then app.use assets. How soon do we need to use it? I guess before everything else, right? Before the engine, I guess. So maybe here, app.use assets. And then in pug, where's a pug? We should now apparently be able to do assets pug.jpg. If everything went well, we should get a pug. You lied to me. What are you even doing? Rendering HTML and Express? Yeah, using templates. Pug templates. You know how to do this stuff already, no? Do what? I'm returning with basic thing already done. Nice. I had to install Eclipse half the time I was gone. Great job. Roots and Express. Yeah, I know how to do roots. But this is using a template rendering engine. I don't need the pug there. It's just for motivational support. I love the pug. But if it's going to become a mission, I'll just leave it. Do we have a .glitch assets file? Because I don't see that. We don't have a glitch asset. It's supposed to read it. I think that might be the issue. This was made like long time ago, back when it was like freaking Gomix and stuff. I think we're gonna have to leave it. Like, it was nice having a pug, but this is getting ridiculous. So I'm gonna delete assets.js, and in server I'm gonna remove app.use assets and that. Cool. And then here I gave it like a relative path, but whatevs. In our actual pug file, I'm just gonna overwrite this. No one sees the pug, but that's fine. We see the pug. We know the pug is there. Let's move on. Now that we actually have it in this, we can give GitHub the URL, because the whole reason why we needed to get it like this is that we can get a URL to use in the GitHub project. So then let me give it the URL, and let me do that so we can finally move on. Register application. There we go. We successfully registered it. Amazing. Cool. What's the next step? We're doing this still, weren't we? A common practice is to put them in your env and reference process.env GitHub client ID. So we need a GitHub client ID. Can I test this? Oh, so we can't. We basically can't work locally anymore because of this. Damn. Unless I did some proxy stuff, which I don't. I'm not gonna do. So let's just continue working in glitch. I have so many projects I want to do, but I need to work on resume stuff. What are you gonna put on your resume? Okay, so what's next? Obtaining your client ID and secret from GitHub is done in your account. Yeah, we've already done that. We know what that is. Save the return information as GitHub client ID and GitHub client secret in your env file. Alright. Go ahead and do that real quick. Done. Need to polish current projects, documentation testing, host them, take screenshots and write short blurbs about them for my personal site. Yeah, that makes sense. And how they're going so far? What's your favorite project? On your remix project, create 2 routes accepting GET requests, auth GitHub and auth GitHub callback. The first should only call passport to authenticate GitHub, and the second should call passport to authenticate GitHub with a failure redirect to the homepage. And then if that is successful, redirect to profile, similar to our last project. Oh my god. Writing scripts was pretty fun, yeah. Yeah, let's let me just get this into our route. I can figure out what we need to do. New remix will create 2 routes accepting GET requests. Okay, so we need 2 routes. So app.root, what route? Auth, GitHub, dot get. So dot get. And then the first should only call passport to authenticate GitHub. Okay, so this is going to be similar to the authentication that we have for local. Wouldn't that be like ensure authentic? No. It's going to be like passport.authenticate. So app auth GitHub.get. This is essentially what it's going to look like for the callback. That's like literally what it's going to look like. So auth GitHub, what was it? Callback? Auth GitHub, callback. And then passport.authenticate. I think that should be GitHub. I think they showed an example. Passport.authenticate GitHub, yeah. So passport.authenticate GitHub, failure redirect, go back to the home page. And then if it's successful, redirect to the profile, right? Where's that redirect profile? Yeah. Cool. So that's for GitHub authentication, for the callback. And then the other one is literally just to auth. And what happens if you go to auth? The first should only call passport to authenticate GitHub. Okay, so essentially the exact same thing, but without the redirect. Passport or authenticate GitHub. So that's literally all you do. Wait. And the second should call with a failure redirect. So should only call passport to authenticate GitHub. Do we do anything with the information? I assume we redirect to profile, right? Let's try. So this will go into our roots. Everything good? Everything's good. So if we try to do a get, so what's our website? /auth getup. Not found. Was it not auth getup? Wait, was it a get or a post? What was the requirement? Get requests. Okay. That's why we have the callback. Okay, I got you. So app.get. App.get. There we go. Okay. Can we try that again? Unknown authentication strategy GitHub. Do I need a different passport? They didn't tell us that we needed extra requirements. Let's also have a look at their GitHub project, their package.json. They might be using something else. What are they using? They are using Express, Passport Local, and Passport itself. Do we have Passport itself? Yeah, we do. We have Passport and Passport Local. So it shouldn't be that. So where's the GitHub issue coming from? How do you use OAuth? I think it's something to do with the strategies that we're using now. Yeah, that's the local one. Let's see what the GitHub one will look like. Twitter, Google. Where's Passport GitHub? Is there a Passport GitHub? Yes, there is. Cool. Must register? Yeah, we've already done that. Configure the strategy. Ah, that's what we were missing. So how the hell were we supposed to know this if this information is not even here? Or were we not supposed to do that yet? We were supposed to just create the roots. I'm guessing we're not actually supposed to get it working, we just need the roots, right? Let's see what happens. The URL is this. Does that work for you? Root auth GitHub should only call passport.authenticate with GitHub. Root auth GitHub callback should accept a GET request and call passport.authenticator for GitHub with a failure redirect to home. No parameters, nothing. I think we might have to split this project like they did. because, yeah. I think we're gonna do that. God damn it. Luckily we didn't do much. There's way too much has changed here. So we're gonna, it's gonna be 3 parts, so social authentication. Let's call it social authentication. DMN social authentication. There we go. And then we're gonna have to update GitHub now. Cool. Now that we've got that, let us copy everything that they have in the boilerplate. So that we don't run into any other issues. We're literally just going to copy it as is. Well, preferably not in roots. And then we can get rid of roots. We can get rid of... Is this still FCC testing? Yes, there is. Pretty much the same. Yeah, so that's that. Pug, you have to go. Right, Pug. Okay, so what were we doing prior to this? This entire project was based on just advanced node. Boilerplate advanced node. And then this is social authentication. So I'm just trying to clean up like the entire folder structure because it's an absolute mess now. No way did they stipulate that we are moving on to a completely different project altogether. Advanced node and express. Social authentication. There we go. Then we're basically going to copy everything except node modules. Go. We are going to have to update a few things. Okay, so we can close this folder and close everything. Then we're going to add a folder. The social authentication. Cool. I think I changed this to social authentication. Double check. Yeah. And then server.js changed. It will look like this now. And we should probably do an npm install just to make sure that we have all the modules and everything. And while that's busy, do we have pug files? For the social auth? Do we have views pug? Yes, we do. So index and profile needs to change. No, I didn't mean to fork it. That's the index for the pug file. And the other file being profile. Nope, wrong one. There's profile. And there's index. What else needs to change? Style.css and client. Client stays the same. The only thing that changed was this. The tests did change. What else needs to change? go. Package the JSON. The README. I guess we could copy the README as well, just in case we ever need to look back on it. There's literally nothing in the README. Okay, never mind then. I think we have everything now. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. We can actually start testing and stuff now. Okay, so if we come back to this, what do we need to do? Let's see what it thinks of it so far. We've done that. On your remix project, create 2 routes accepting GET requests, auth GitHub and auth GitHub callback. Add your code below. So assume this is where it wants us to do it. Is it not doing for auth GitHub? Oh, it's not. Okay, good to know. Then let us open our previous project now. And open server, or was it roots? I think it was roots. And let us take these 2, which shouldn't be here. There we go. Remove these. Cool. And then we need to stick it in between here. So app.get auth GitHub, passport.authenticate GitHub, and app.get auth GitHub callback. I think that should be all we need. Running tests. Timeout has occurred. That's not good. That's not good at all. Is this still up and running? Oops. URL malformed. Cannot be parsed. What? What? Database error. URL malformed. Yeah, hold on. What's going on here? URL malformed. So maybe the way it's connecting. Processed. Oh. Let me see what the env file is that we used. Ours is process.env. We call it MongoDB URI, that's why. Okay. So here, where it says process.env.database, it's process.env.mongodb URI. That's what we name ours. There we go. Log in with GitHub. But then we get a not found. Okay, but we're getting somewhere. See what it thinks of that. Root auth GitHub should only call passport.authenticate with GitHub. Root auth GitHub callback should accept a GET request and call passport.authenticate for GitHub with a failure redirect to home. That's what it should look like. So app.root .get passport.authenticate GitHub failure redirect request response res.redirect profile. Yeah, should be it. And let's just make sure it's identical. app.root .get passport.authenticate GitHub. Yeah, okay. I just realized something, because we're working locally. Did we even update the glitch? No, we didn't. There's no code in there. Oh my god, that's funny. Oops. This needs to be MongoDB URI. Okay. Cool. Where is it? Here it is. Login with GitHub. Unknown authentication strategy GitHub. We haven't set up a strategy yet, but maybe it doesn't need one yet. Do we need a strategy? Because from what I could tell, they didn't set up a strategy. I don't see a strategy here for GitHub. There was something here. Where was it? This. So this is what it should look like up until this point. Yeah, there's no strategy. There's literally no strategy. So no wonder it's gonna give an error. We're gonna have to go and add strategy for GitHub. Because there's the stuff. Passport.authenticate GitHub. That's what it should look like. Actually, let's make sure that ours looks like that. Let's change ours to look like that. app.get auth GitHub callback. Passport.authenticate GitHub failure redirect. Back there. Press that redirect profile. And then for the other one, it's supposed to just be app.get auth GitHub, passport.authenticate GitHub, and that's all. But without a strategy, how's it going to work? That's the question that I have. Like, it's not going to know how to do that. Can't authenticate, so unless it's checking routes. So yeah, we're gonna probably have to add the strategy. And I want to see where we did our strategy last time. That was after the serialize and deserialize. There it was, basically here. GitHub strategy equal to require passport GitHub. Wait, so we need passport GitHub? Oh my god. Okay, npm install passport GitHub. That wasn't even in their package file. Maybe that's gonna come later. Watch us like actually get this working. And it still fails. Like we get full on. You weren't supposed to get full on authentication, but we did it. So there's GitHub strategy require passport GitHub strategy. So that should probably be at the top of the file most likely. Passport GitHub strategy equal to require passport GitHub. GitHub client ID, so that was env, process.env. I think it was called that. So process.env.GitHub client ID and process.env.GitHub client secret. I think we called it that. Whatever they asked us to call it, we called it that. GitHub client ID, GitHub client secret, all caps. Yeah. Authorization URL. The hell is all of this? Authorization URL. Token, user profile. Callback URL. This would be ours. Basically the whole glitch dot whatever it is. So that user profile, no idea. Would it just be user like profile? I wonder. Maybe there's some information on it. Oh shit, that was we used the wrong one. We that was the enterprise. Okay, this is simple enough. There we go. That's simple enough. Phew. GitHub ID profile.id. There we go. So that's a strategy that's in place right now. Okay, and right now if we go to profile, what do we see? We don't get anything. Okay, probably because we're not logged in. Yes, you're gonna want package.json, aren't you? There you go. Eat it. Good, good. Now let's see, can we actually authenticate via GitHub? Oh my god, we actually can. Free code camp social authentication by Dead Mono. Who wants to access your what? Wants to access your Dead Mono account? Oh wait, that's me. Never mind, I'm already authenticated. I was like, okay, it's just confusing because it's by me and wants to access my account that I'm already currently authenticated into. Public data only. Limited access to your public data, which is what? Okay. I mean, I think I can trust myself, right? Created. There you go. Not owned. Fewer than 10 GitHub users. Geez, you give me credit. How about no users? Let's authorize. Okay. At least we got a callback and everything. But we do have a reference error. User is not defined. At strategy.verify. User is not defined. Did we have user? User. Wait, but where the hell did I get user from? User.find or create. What is user? I think we're missing something based on their example. Where does user come from? Oh, that's probably, yeah, that's probably a model. They would have assumed you had a model by now. So we're gonna have to do... Can we do collection? Like we did before? fccdb.collection users.find or create. I think that should work. And then obviously we just have to specify what fccdb is, which is essentially this. fccdb is db.db free code camp. Wait, do we have db? Yes, we do. Wait, it's social users now? db.collection social users, so we need to create it? Oh no. Okay, I could see what's gonna happen here. fccdb equal to db.db free code camp. So basically wherever they do collection, we need to do fccdb. Okay, it's only in 2 places it seems. Good, and then we need to create a table or document called social users, because that's what it's deserializing from. Jeez, they could have told us these things, but no. Can we create a new document, please? Collection called social users. Cool, done, sorted. Technically we should be able to log in with GitHub now. Oh, because we didn't copy server.js, we didn't update. Sorry. There you go. What else did I change? It was just that. Log in with GitHub. fccdb.collection find or create is not a function. Is it MongoDB or Mongoose? I think we might not need fccdb anymore, because we did that to solve another issue. think that's what the issue is. So let's try. Let's go back to... Let's do db.collection and db.collection like it was before. Just to test. Because we needed that for the last project. Okay, db.collection is not a function. Okay, so db.collection is not a function. So we still need fccdb. But the other function that we're using now is the issue. To find or create. So let us Google that directly. So we're just going to do dot collection. Find or create is not a function. User is a model in their case, but we're not going to be using a model, we're going to be using a collection. Can we do find or create on a collection? Find or create collection, MongoDB. I played yesterday. Hey, how are you doing? I wonder if there's a find. Because find or create would work if we had a user's model, but we don't have a user's model. Let's see. Find and modify. Find one. So where the hell does find and create come from? That's not Mongoose, is it? Shouldn't be. It's Mongo. Doing well, just working on some homework. You wouldn't happen to be good with MySQL, would you? It depends on what the question really is. I'm mainly been working with NoSQL databases now, but maybe there's something I know. So apparently find and modify is what we would need. Really? Find and modify. GitHub ID. Let's see what happens now. Either an update or remove true must be specified. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We're definitely getting somewhere. I'm having a problem when I create a procedure, it goes through, but then when I call it, I get an error. The use select statements have a different number of columns. I have 1 in, which is the user ID, and 5 outs. Yeah, no, that's unfortunately not something that I'm even vaguely familiar with. If Handpans was here, Handpans, are you still here? If they were here, they might have been able to assist. Or anyone else really that works with SQL. I thought it might have been something a bit more simplistic. Sounds fun though. For homework, geez, that's quite intense. What are you doing? I wouldn't assume that's like standard high school homework. Find one and update. What if it doesn't exist, I wonder? Update parameter must be an object. And what are we trying to add? Find one and update. Let's see which parameter it is. Because currently right now the first thing we're putting in is the GitHub profile ID. It's expecting the filter and then the update document. It would be like basically identical, wouldn't it? It's alright, I'm in college though. Mobile development course. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's quite intense. Are you part of the Discord programming group? Programming discussions? They're a pretty great place to check out. And they have sections on SQL and stuff. Even mobile development. I don't believe so. Okay, cool. Let me drop you a link. There you go. They may be able to assist you. Well, I'm positive someone there will be able to assist you. It just feels so redundant doing it like this. But let's see if it even works. Would I just message a helper? No, you just share your request in the right channel. So probably databases. You'll see the databases channel and just share your question there, and then someone should be able to respond. Jeez, it's getting late. I can't even believe it's past midnight now. It's not find or create, it's find one and update. I'm only seeing two. Oh, you need to probably like go through whatever the requirements are to get like started with. So just read through rules or welcome. I think welcome has everything you need. Must contain atomic operators. Jesus, how complicated is this? You're welcome. I hope you find the help that you need. I played yesterday. And thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. I really need to figure out how these atomics work. Atomic operations. I see, okay. There we go. So profile.id, that's the query. Update, set on insert id to be profile.id new true. Insert the document if it does not exist. Upsert true. How about now? Either an update or remove true must be specified. Find and modify, that's what we did. Wait, did it say either a new, remove true, or an update needs to be specified? We did specify an update though. db collection find and modify. Probably doesn't support a callback, that's why. Find and modify. Find and modify, does it support a callback? No, it doesn't. That's why. Okay, someone did post a promise syntax. So all we needed to do is return Wait, let's look at the actual GitHub strategy. Oh, it does. Find or create. Where does find or create come from? Because that's gonna drive me crazy. Does that actually exist? Where does it come from? Is that Mongoose? Because they're saying find or create. I'm guessing this is Mongoose, isn't it? Apparently not. We're doing this. Screw it. We're doing things the hard way. Okay, so here's the old way. Here's what we're going to be doing. What's the problem now? Wait, legitimately, what's the issue now? We have Prettier, we have Eastland. Like my linter does not want to update anymore. It's as if there's an error, but it won't tell me. Unexpected token collection. Oh, function. This needs to be async. There you go. fccdb.collection.find1 and update. And what are we looking for? ID. Set ID to profile.id maybe? And then object ID is from Mongoose. That should then work. I assume that's what we need. And then when it's done, then we need to return callback Yeah, so let's try this first and see what happens. Oh boy. Okay, no errors so far. Unhandled promise rejection warning. Find one and update is not a function. Okay, can we just do fccdb.find one and update? Can we do that? Can we just do db? Let's find out. I didn't update this, did I? Yeah, it's not a function either. Because it's a promise, and it's promise syntax. We have db, right? Yeah, we have access to db in this entire thing. So what if we do db.find one and update, or db.collection? We're gonna have to play around until we get the right one. Okay, so db.find one and update is not. How about db.collection.find one and update? The only one we haven't tried. Cannot read property find. Oh, so we got somewhere. Cannot read property find one and update of undefined. Okay, that's probably because I could have found the collection. And the other one, fccdb, is basically db.db. And then in the example they gave us, it was basically collection.find one and update. Which literally should be fccdb, but that doesn't work for us. I think I'm gonna have to continue this tomorrow. There's just been way too many things that's been going on, and especially trying to split between these two starter projects. We'll find it, for sure, because there's a massive amount of confusion. Even just trying to get the roots working. It's testing something completely different. So this is gonna be fun. But then we'll be done with it and we'll be able to finally work on the projects. So I'm gonna say bye for now. And I will see you guys in the next one.